All right, let's address something here this morning. What's standing between you and your wildest ambitions? Is it an insurmountable wall, or is it a cobweb? Is it impermeable, or can it just be brushed aside by a single determined stroke? Have you ever mistaken cobwebs for walls, placing limits on your potential? Now, granted, there are real obstacles some of us have to deal with. I'll never forget spending time profiling Christopher Reeve for Success magazine. After a catastrophic neck injury that left the iconic figure we knew as Superman paralyzed, every day became an epic battle against adversity. It took 2 grueling hours every morning just for him to get out of bed and to function. His ability to focus and engage was hemmed in by a constant physical discomfort that is impossible for many of us to fully comprehend. Now, that, my friends, is what is called a real obstacle. And yet, still, despite his real obstacle and his significant impairment, Reeve radiated an entirely unbroken spirit. He was a tireless advocate for research into spinal cord injuries, providing millions of dollars in grants. Reeve lobbied effectively for better insurance protection for people with disabilities and increased national funding for medical research. The Christopher Reeve Paralysis Act, signed into law, is the only piece of federal legislation aimed at improving the lives of people with paralysis. Despite his severe physical limitation, Reeve continued his career in film and in television. He acted in a remake of Hitchcock's Rear Window, which earned him a Golden Globe nomination. He also directed critically acclaimed movies for which he was nominated for an Emmy. And he also authored 2 best-selling books, became a sought-after public speaker, which is the only achievement that I can actually remark on. So it's no small feat. His willpower and determination underscored a powerful reality that even the most real of obstacles can be challenged and even overcome. But now, let's talk about the obstacles that stop most would-be impact makers and world changers, those constructed out of cobwebs. Obstacles like I don't have the money, or I don't know what to do, or I don't have the right connections, or I can't find the right people for my team, or there's too much competition out there. Are any of these sounding familiar to you? How about my product or service isn't perfect yet, or it's not the right time, or I can't balance my personal life and business goals, or the economy's not in my favor, or I can't handle the stress or workload. Let me share another story from one of my past success cover profiles from Kenneth Cole. Okay? Before Kenneth Cole became an iconic fashion designer, his situation was high stakes and deep with uncertainty. He was an unknown face in a fiercely competitive industry, but desperately wanted to make his mark. Kenneth told me the story about when he was launching his shoe line for New York's Fashion Week. He faced a seemingly insurmountable obstacle, a wall. The cost of securing an exhibit space in a prime location was astronomical. Kenneth's dream was on the brink of collapse, with no budget to meet these demands, or so it seemed. Undeterred, Cole got a bright idea. If he couldn't get exhibit space, he could rent a truck and park it on the street between all the hotels and the exhibit areas and catch everybody as they went back and forth. He was told that he needed to have a permit from the city of New York to park his truck. When he went to secure the permit, he was repeatedly told that was impossible. He faced another big, insurmountable wall, or so it seemed. But instead of accepting defeat, he reframed the situation. He asked if anybody could get this permit, how would they do it? That's when he learned that movie production companies were the only people awarded such permits. And just like that, Kenneth Cole Productions was born. With a sign on his truck and a couple of guys with empty video cameras rolling around, Cole pretended to be and to film the birth of a shoe company. Positioned perfectly on the street, he drew in crowds and wrote orders worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in that single fashion week. His company skyrocketed from there and continues till this day, all because he refused to accept an artificial obstacle that looked like a wall but was just a cobweb. So, my Darren Daily friends, I challenge you to examine the obstacles in your life. Are they walls or are they cobwebs? And even if you think that they are walls, are they really? Are they truly insurmountable? Or have you let your mind build walls where none exist? Have you asked the right questions, or are you accepting no without seeking alternatives? If you encounter a roadblock, consider if it's a wall or a cobweb. Real obstacles may be daunting, but they are not always definitive. Artificial obstacles, on the other hand, exist only until we decide to dismantle them. They are not brick walls, but illusions that we construct in our own minds. The first step to overcoming these barriers is identifying them. Then next, you must challenge them with creativity and resilience, much like Kenneth Cole did. Today, my friends, I encourage you to dismantle your artificial obstacles. Step out of your comfort zone, ask the challenging questions, and confront the cobwebs masquerading as walls. Tell us, what has been masquerading as a wall in your life? But after hearing today's Darren Daily, you know it's really a cobweb. Share that with us in the comments below. And be sure to share this Darren Daily with those that you know are facing walls of their own. I'm sure they would appreciate it.
Hey ladies! Okay, so I know I've been following Darren for a long time now, and after hearing so many good things about his business masterclass, I think we should do it. I don't know, I'm just so overwhelmed right now. Everything needs me. Work, family, church, the list just keeps going on. I just can't take a break. Our day planner is tighter than our favorite pair of jeans after Thanksgiving dinner. We just don't have time for a 3-day event, guys. What if this business masterclass amplifies my failures instead of my success? What if I don't know what I'm doing? I mean, like, we've read business books and podcasts and have some programs. I mean, I feel like we already know it all. And what was I gonna say? I don't know. I don't know if I'm at the same level as those that are gonna be attending. I mean, the I'm a fraud voice in my head is really getting crowded. I just don't know if I'm good enough to be there with the rest of those successful people.
Who's this Darren guy? And what makes this program different than all the other ones you've done? If you fail on this, I will hold it against you for the rest of your life.
Hold it, everyone. Let's address the real question. How much green is this going to cost? Sorry, I was just getting out of the shower. Procrastination. I already know what you're gonna say. Now it's just not a good time. Right? I mean, we've got so many things going on this year already. We just moved buildings, we don't even have our logo yet. Christmas is coming this year. Which voice resonates most with you?